What's going on, everybody? Dialerix TV back with another video, and in today's video we'll be discussing a potential proposed blockbuster trade that involves the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks in a deal. This article is per Microsoft News Sports, and the headline reads, Hollywood Pipe Dream Idea, a Mavs and Lakers trade of Porzingis and Anthony Davis. It was written by Dalton Trigg, and he goes on to say that a shakeup of the NBA landscape by trade swapping star big man Kristaps, Porzingis and Anthony Davis. When we look a little closer, is it really that crazy? As crazy as it might sound, the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers could likely help each other out and shake the NBA landscape by trade swapping star big men Kristaps, Porzingis and Anthony Davis. But when we look a little closer, is it really that crazy? The Mavs and the Lakers have been in similar situations this season. When it comes to their records, Dallas entering Wednesday's dark night at the AAC versus the Warriors, currently occupying the 6th seed in the Western Conference standing, just percentage points ahead of the 20-19 Lakers. But although the records may be nearly identical, the long-term outlooks for the both franchises are completely different. He says that another issue for the Lakers is a lack of draft capital, which also hampers their trade flexibility on top of the $120 million being split between James, Westbrook and Davis. The Mavs have somewhat of a shortage of draft capital themselves, but it's not to the extent of what LA is dealing with. So with LeBron not getting any younger and the Lakers not having many ways to improve their stuck in the mud roster, what can they do? Trading Anthony Davis to Dallas for a package headlined by Kristaps Porzingis could potentially help both teams short term and long term. He says if the Lakers could get a guy who is currently putting up similar, if not better production than Davis with one less year on his deal and a few other young assets, it's at least worth taking a look at. The proposed deal would be the Mavericks would receive Anthony Davis, the Lakers would receive Kristaps Porzingis, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dallas's 2025 first round pick protected and a 2027 first round pick protected. It says although Davis' potential fit and upside next to Doncic would look promising, this kind of trade wouldn't be risk-free for the Mavs. So if you guys would like to read the full article, the link is in the description box. So I think this would be a phenomenal trade. As I've stated a million times, I'm opposed to the Lakers trading Anthony Davis. I still view him as one of the best top big men, best players in the league, and I just think with his recent struggles, they only come from the difficulty of playing alongside two ball dominant players in LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, who are always seeking to create for themselves first. However, if I were the Lakers GM, I would counter this offer and see if I can acquire Tim Hardaway Jr. in return, who is a lights out shooter who would be a great addition and an additional threat from the three ball beyond the perimeter alongside LeBron James, who LeBron James we know loves to be surrounded by shooters. Also, I would adjust the draft picks in this deal and see if I could get a 2023 or a 2024 first round pick instead of a much later deal in 2025. But I think Porzingis would be a better fit beside LeBron James in the LeBron James system, not the triangle that Phil Jackson was famous for running or any other coach in a team system. No, not that. The LeBron James system. The LeBron James system. Okay. Now, I think that Kristaps Porzingis will have a much easier time adjusting to playing alongside LeBron James because he's a much better shooter. Speaking of Kristaps Porzingis, he's a much better shooter beyond the perimeter than Anthony Davis, which would then allow both LeBron James and Porzingis to run a two-man game, the pick and pop, pick and roll with ease. He spreads the floor really well. He's a really great passer for a big. He's a really good defender. However, he doesn't cover the same ground that Anthony Davis does defensively, and he's not as athletic, explosive, or have the great ball handling skills that Anthony Davis has, because Anthony Davis, as we all know, grew up playing the guard position. However, in my opinion, this would still be a win-win for each party involved. If I were the Lakers personally, I would trade Anthony Davis to the East because then we would have to play him 4 times in a season, and AD would definitely take it personal, straight up torch the Lakers every time he steps foot on that court, and every time he sees a Laker jersey, he'll attack like a bull. Even when he sees a random fan walking in the mall, bruh, he's gonna run up to that fan, have one of his assistants put a small basketball court, a rim over top of that fan head, and slam dunk that ball on the man's head. Okay, but anyway, yes, I would make this deal in a heartbeat. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all get in that comment box, like, share, subscribe. I'm out.